On July 25, 1997, while checking the underground fiber optic cable along the National Highway, staff of the Post and Telecommunications Department of Xiangtan City, Hunan Province, suddenly discovered 3 remains under the cable well. Police determined that the victims all had injuries to their heads and chests, were between 20 and 30 years old, between 1.65 and 1.74 meters tall, and had an estimated time of death of 6 months ago. The Chinese Ministry of Public Security and Hunan Provincial Police determined this to be a serious case of murder and body disposal, and directed units to cooperate to solve the case as quickly as possible. Xiangtan City's criminal police quickly found a missing persons notice posted on December 15, 1996 by 3 families in Songzi City, Hubei Province. According to the report, Xia Changjun, a 24-year-old truck owner from Songzi, hired a driver named Wang Rong, 29, and the owner's 18-year-old son, Tan Quilin, to transport a truckload of pigs to Guangzhou on December 2, 1996. On December 3rd, the 3 transported a truckload of household appliances and other goods worth 80,000 yuan back to Songzi. At 8 p.m. on December 4th, they had dinner at a restaurant on National Highway 107 in Xiangtan, then disappeared on the road. The light blue 5-ton truck they were driving and the goods on board also disappeared. Police initially identified the 3 drivers and passengers in Tungtu as victims of the case. Through investigation at locations along Highway 107 and the restaurant where they stopped, police confirmed that this was a particularly serious robbery-murder case. The investigation team traveled to 14 cities in Guangdong, Hubei, and Jiangxi provinces, eliminating the possibility that Tungtu was the location of the crime. To find clues, the police reported the license plate, engine number, and chassis number of the stolen truck to the criminal investigation agencies of neighboring provinces and cities along Highway 107 to coordinate in searching for the stolen car, evidence, and suspect. Despite the police's efforts, the case remained deadlocked until November 1998. Dang Deng, the captain of the Jiangtan City Police Special Task Force, went to the Haifeng County Police Office in Guangdong Province to collect evidence in the robbery and murder case of Chen Gang. Gang was a henchman of Zhang Ziqiang, a Hong Kong criminal gang leader who was arrested in Guangdong in August 1998. On the evening of November 5, 1998, at the meeting table, Mr. Deng mentioned the case of 3 bodies in a well in Xiangtan. During the discussion, he was particularly interested in a clue presented by the Haiphong District Police. Accordingly, in early 1997, Tran Quang and his group of criminals fled to their accomplice's house in Hunan Province after robbing and killing someone in Guangdong. In a conversation, Quang worriedly said, "I don't know how Hai Qian will handle that large cargo truck. If he doesn't handle it well, he will be in big trouble. That truck cost 3 lives." Mr. Deng said that the truck that Quang mentioned was very likely related to the case in Xiangtan. All 3 people died, all were trucks transporting pigs, and the time also matched. Mr. Deng then reported the vehicle model, engine number, chassis number, cargo on the vehicle, and other characteristics of the truck that was robbed in the case on July 25, 1997. Along with basic information about the 3 victims to the Haiphong police, asking them to search for the vehicle and the suspect. On November 18th, Haiphong police announced that they had found the stolen truck, but it had been dismantled and sold for parts. Upon verification, the engine and chassis numbers matched. They also said that the truck was driven to an auto repair shop in Haiphong by Dien Quoc Quang and Duong Chin Bin, members of Quang's gang, for processing and sale in December 1996. On November 24, 1998, police escorted Quang from Hunan to Xiangtan for questioning. He admitted to being the main perpetrator of the murder and robbery on July 25, 1997, along with Quang Bin and a Xinjiang man named Dai Fat. On November 26, 1988, police searched Gang's hideout in Xiangtan and found a police helmet, military boots, 2 sets of camouflage clothing, and other tools for impersonating a police officer. That afternoon, Bing, who was serving a life sentence in Hunan province, was escorted to Xiangtan for trial. On November 27th, Bing confessed to the crimes related to the July 25, 1997 incident. According to the testimony 2 years ago, one night in November 1996, Quang, Bin, Quang, and Dai Fat rented a white van in Guangzhou and followed a pig truck on Highway 107. On the way, Quang's group pretended to be police officers and robbed the pig truck for 7,000 yuan. Feeling that the money was too little, they planned to carry out a second robbery. On December 4th, the group continued to rent a van and drove to Xiangtan. In the evening, they stopped at a small restaurant to eat and divide up their tasks. At 11 p.m., Quang and Bin discovered a truck carrying pigs coming from the direction of Hubei, and Quang immediately followed it. This was the car of Quan and his 2 companions. While driving, Quang and Dai Fat put on police hats and changed into camouflage uniforms. Quang sped up and blocked the front of the truck, forcing it to stop. Quang jumped out with a submachine gun, and Dai Fat approached the truck and said, "The police are checking the vehicle," then ordered Quan's group to get into the van. Quang drove the truck back to the intersection in Xiangtan City to wait. Quang drove the van into a small road and stopped, tied up the 3 victims and covered their mouths with towels. Then, the van stopped at a mountain on the outskirts of Xiangtan. Quang held a gun and Dai Fat held a knife and forced the victims out of the van. After killing the 3 people, Quang and Bin carried the bodies into a van and disposed of them in a cable well. Household goods worth more than 80,000 yuan were transported by Quang and Bin to Haiphong to sell for money. The police quickly arrested Quang and the 2 main culprits, Bin and Quang. Soon after, Dai Fat was also caught. Through investigation, after separating from Zhang Ziqiang's criminal gang, Gang established a robbery group led by himself. From December 1994 to December 1997, Gang impersonated a police officer, holding a submachine gun, using the name of car inspection to consecutively stop and rob 8 vehicles, killing 8 people and burying their bodies, seriously injuring 9 people, and robbing millions of yuan worth of property. In March 1999, Quang was sentenced to death by the Haiphong District Court for intentional murder and robbery. 3 of Quang's henchmen were also sentenced to death, while the others were sentenced to life imprisonment or prison terms ranging from 10 to 23 years.